Hi, I'm Roshni Rajaram, and I have with me ace writer and politician Azad Singh Rathore, whose recent book, Balochistan, The Heights of Oppression, has won some really good comments from readers abroad and in India. So, Azad, tell us, what is this book about?
Hi Roshni ji, how are you?
Very good, fine. Thank you, Azad. I just read your book and it is fantastic. Very well researched, very
First
absorbing.
of first of
Congratulations
all,
so much. And
thank you
thank
so
you
much.
for giving us such a wonderful book to read during the lockdown.
First of all, I would like to thank you for taking this time for this conversation. I know, like we everyone in lockdown, but still, people like you who used to go for so many webinars, so many online programs, and you herself a renowned author and article writer. So you must be busy. I know that. So first of all, thank you so much for spending the time for this conversation.
Thank you so much for being with me, Azad. And it was wonderful to read the book. It was a worthy read indeed. And I'm very happy to read this book. I would like to hear from the author. What is this book about? Because I'm sure a lot of people want to read books like this. We haven't seen some great readers in the non-fiction segment lately. So tell us something about it.
Okay, so please allow me to give you insight to book and some background of the subject. So basically, I have written a book on Baloch people and their struggles. So who are Baloch? Baloch are ethnic and native people living in Balochistan region. Balochistan region in past it was between Indian princely states and Persia, and in later because of so many geopolitical changes, presently it is divided into three different countries: Iran, Afghanistan, and Pakistan. So my book is basically focusing on the part which is illegally annexed by Pakistan, the Balochistan's part which is illegally annexed by Pakistan. So in 1200 CE, Baloch people gathered together and find a confederacy, their first confederacy ever. They named it Kalat. And later on, they ruled it very successfully. And when Britishers came, Kalat was recognized as an independent country. And they had so many treaties together as two different nations, as two different countries, and they recognized Kalat as an independent country. Even when they about to leave the Indian subcontinent, at that time they continue recognizing it as an independent country. Even the interim government of Pakistan, which is going to be established very soon in 1947, even Pakistan recognized Kalat as an independent country. But later on, Pakistan took a U-turn and illegally occupied the territory of Kalat, which was an independent country at that time. And because of that action, there is a reaction started between the Baloch peoples against the Pakistan, and they started raising their voices. They started agitations, and they started movements against the federal government of Pakistan and Pakistan army, which is still continue. So in short, the book is about Balochistan history, geography, its culture, heritage, Baloch people, their grievances, their struggles and atrocities and inflicted on them by Pakistan, and their resistance movement. So this is all about the book is.
Very absorbing. In fact, I'm sure it's not easy to write on a subject so intricate with this much of gravity. There must have been a lot of research involved in doing this book as an entire project. So how much time did you actually spend in writing this book?
I remember in 2006 when Akbar Bukti assassinated by Pakistan army. Akbar Bukti was one of the very prominent leader of Balochistan, very respected elderly person of the Baloch region, and he was assassinated by Pakistan Army in 2006. And this brutality, like in a very brutal manner, they did it, and his assassination nation is a major setback to Balochistan, and uh, each and every country of the world got a attraction towards the Baloch issue because of this unfortunate incident. And later, each and every country started condemning the Pakistan's policing towards the Baloch. At that time, I started observing the Baloch issue and Balochistan. I started and started to collect the news articles. Those were the time when we don't have much digital media, so magazines and books about Balochistan. But I have never decided that I will write a book on Balochistan. But in 2017, when my first book published, after that, I seriously decided to write a book on Balochistan. I read around 50 books, around 200 articles. I spoke to so many Baloch scholars presently living in exile, so many other experts, so many other writers who has written book on Balochistan. And then after 4 years of research, I completed my manuscript and submitted my publisher. This is how the whole journey of the book is.
Interesting. 4 years of research into one book, and that makes the book very wonderful. That makes the book very factual. In fact, that's very nice. Wonderful, Azad. But picking up a subject like this, which could be, hurting a lot of sentiments across the border, and people are not really aware about Balochistan. A lot of awareness got generated through the book and will be generated in future. So what really made you pick up a subject like this, and what do you think? Will this book contribute in changing the way Balochistan is heading towards, I don't know, maybe miserable days or better days? Do you think it will contribute in changing the way of changing the future of Balochistan, the Baloch people? Do you think it will help?
See, Roshni we, the citizen of India, especially our generation, who breathed our first in this free, independent country, we born lucky actually, and we are lucky because our country is governed by a fair constitution. Our country respects human rights. Our people have rights of equality, rights of speech, rights of worship, and so many other rights. So we are lucky, and this is what we have been taught throughout our life, that we must respect the human rights. We must respect the rights of others. And as a political activist, I always try my best to whenever I see anything unconstitutional around me, or unethical or unjustified or unlawful around me, I always take a firm stand, and I raise my voice. In the same compassion, when we are citizens of this beautiful world, and we do have some duties towards this world as well. So I think, and I firmly believe that whenever we see any depraved soul on this earth, we should take a stand, and we must raise our voice for that person. And this is why I am more concerned and connected with the Baloch people who are living in a traumatic conditions, in a painful situations. And very interestingly, though Baloch people are not within our boundary, but still they are only 300 kilometers away from where I am sitting right now. So I think this is my duty as a citizen of this world. This is my duty to take a firm step. And my purpose of writing this book is also the same, that the issues of Baloch people and their grievances must be listened by the world around the globe. People around the globe, people sitting in each and every corner of the continent must listen and must take a firm stand for the Baloch people who are presently living in a very difficult situation. So this is why I decided to write the book on Balochistan.
Lovely. That's a large humanitarian cause that you're working towards. And I really hope and wish that, as you said, Baloch people should be heard throughout the world, and the world must gather together and do something about them. Yes, indeed, they're living in a very traumatic condition. And I gathered a lot of information about them, and the way their children are being killed and their leaders are being assassinated through your book. I also gathered that a lot of your reader base is outside India, in other parts of the world, and they have really given some nice comments and they've applauded your work. Uh, what kind of readers are these? I mean, across the globe, who are your readers? And can you share some kind of comments that they've shared with you, some feedback? Would you like to share it with me?
Actually, I tell you, when I started writing this book, I never thought of, like, there's nothing in back of my mind that this book will get that much of international attention and appreciation from the international readers as well. But when book published and after immediately after the publishing, the book went live. I received so many emails and so many calls around the world. So many scholars, so many human rights activists, so many human rights organizations, so many Baloch scholars contact me, and they appreciate the work I did, and so it is really very exciting and very you can say the book is fulfilling the whole object of internationalizing the Balochistan issue.
Lovely. I see, because that is the greatest reward for an author. I can understand getting feedback from your readers if they've taken the pains of sending you personal emails and tweeting and writing on social media. I'm sure that's really rewarding, and that must be really a very satisfying feeling for you. So, Azad, what do you think? What next? I mean, what are you doing these days? So what do we expect from you? Because Balochistan has taken you 4 years, and what next? I mean, how long do we have to wait for your next project, and what are you working on?
See, I can share you my personal experience that I never decide that what should I write upon. Like obviously, I keep reading so many books, and I um, see watching so many documentaries on television and internet and other like on so many articles on Twitter. But I never decide this that what should I write as another next of my art in next of my article or in a book. What I do that I keep reading, and whenever I see something that I can express my views on particular subject or on particular issue, then I took my pen and I start writing. So mostly both of the books I can say, and the most of the articles I wrote, I never decided that I going to be write those articles and books. So these days I am reading so much of international issues and other human rights issues. So I hope I will pick up some of the issue and I will write a book or an article very soon. Let's hope.
Yeah, but we hope that we don't have to wait for another 4 years to read your next book. Kargil has been
Obviously,
extremely good.
yeah, obviously, like
when you are writing a non-fiction book,
your bibliography should be strong. You should put the facts and figures on factual basis. So you have to read so many things and articles, and then you have to speak with so many other scholars and experts of the subject. So that's why it takes some time, and definitely I will try my best to keep the readers well informed, and that's why I'm taking some time.
Perfect. That was really lovely, Azad. It was indeed a pleasure to speak to you. And your Kargil has done extremely well. And in fact, Balochistan has, I think, surpassed all records of Kargil in just 2 months of its launch, I guess.
Yeah.
It's just been April since you launched this book. This book went live.
Yes, 2nd of April.
Yeah, so that's been a very short span of time, and too many copies have been sold, and many reviews have come in. I read all of them, and it was wonderful. So, Azad, it was so great speaking to you, and I wish you all the very best for your next project. I'm sure Balochistan will do extremely well. It is a very, very well power packed, well written, eloquently written, lovely
So
book
if
to read,
so
and
if we
must
if
read for
so
all of us.
so if we are going towards to finish this conversation, let me take this opportunity to ask you something. Can I ask you?
Please do.
So when we are seeing the Cold Truth on silver screen,
Soon. It's because of the lockdown that the shooting has been stalled. Full Truth will be on screen shortly. I just hope everything gets normal. Life is not normal right now. We're all going through a pandemic and we don't know what next. But I do hope it comes out soon. And in fact, Azad, just to inform you that I've already started working on my next project for the silver screen. So I hope to see 2 projects by next year. Keeping my fingers
eagerly waiting,
crossed.
eagerly waiting. Thank you so much.